So I will say welcome to 1 Million Cups San Diego, and we're glad you're all here. 1 Million Cups is a network of entrepreneurs that are supporting entrepreneurs. So this isn't about financial support, it's not about anything else other than entrepreneurs presenting their business case and their business model, and other entrepreneurs asking them questions and helping them with suggestions. So it's a great format. It's atypical because it's not a funding request. So we're not here to see the polish. We're here to help with the grit, so to speak. So we're doing this with our sister city in Orlando, and Orlando is also a military town, and I hadn't realized that. But they're the 14th, we're the 15th city across the country, and the Kauffman Foundation is working very hard to build a network of meetings like this so that you can go anywhere in the country and be able to promote your business or and get feedback from that local area. So with that, I would like to introduce Rob, who is our host.
Robert Conrad with Comerch. Nice to see some of our members here. Oh, sorry, no camera. The whole team decided to wear the t-shirt this morning. I'm the only one that wore the t-shirt this morning. Clearly I'm devoted to the cause. Welcome to Comerch. We're a shared office environment, co-working space. Just a quick thank you to TriNet, who's a human resources kind of one-stop shop for growing businesses. They provided the coffee for all 1 million cups that we'll be serving here in San Diego. And now I'd like to introduce Mike Craig, who's here from Kansas City. He is our mentor and is one of the organizers, the lead organizer for the Kansas City event.
I'm just one of your counterparts in Kansas City. So, welcome everybody to the inaugural 1 Million Cups Kansas City. Give yourself a hand for being a pioneer. San Diego. This is the problem. We are launching so many. We get confused, or at least I get confused. So, just a quick rundown. 1 Million Cups started in Kansas City with kind of an offshoot, a little tiny offshoot of the Kauffman Foundation, which does a lot with entrepreneurship throughout the country. And April of 2012, we started this with actually fewer people that are sitting here right now. It was 10 Kauffman people with 2 presenters, same format. It's always been the same format. Today, we regularly pull in 225 to 300 people every week through Kauffman. And for the same concept, 2 presenters every week, 6 minutes to talk about themselves, 20 minutes of Q&A. So it's really about bringing together the community, bringing together your entrepreneurs, your startups in your community, and making that great exchange of information and idea sharing and all that sort of stuff that happens when you bring great minds together. So you can look back on this day a year from now and say, I remember when I was there that first day, and along with 300 other people. So without any further ado, let's get Jerry back up, and we'll get this started.
Thank you, sir. Just so you know, this is the contact information for our presenters and their Twitter addresses. This is our sponsors, and then our Twitter account at 1 Million Cups San Diego, or at 1 Million Cups San. And our website is over here. And we put a board here for wants and needs and events. So if you have a service you want to offer, some type of thing to the industry, feel free to post it up here. The slips are on the table. After a while, that'll become a very full board, and you'll be able to walk up with your camera and take a picture of that event. So it's a great opportunity to help share things on a weekly basis. Yep, awesome.
Where do you do that?
We need to get some stick pins.
Top right of that table.
Sometimes. One other thing. This is, Comerch is donating this space to this event, so please, after the event, let's just keep it, we really appreciate your help to clean it up and leave it as good as we found it. So with that, I'd like to introduce our first presenter, and John is the first presenter in California, the first presenter on the West Coast for 1 Million Cups, so we're real proud of that and happy to have him. It's an important business and important approach, and I think it's a little symbolic that it's a nonprofit. In that we also support nonprofits. It's like a 90-10 rule. About 90% of the businesses will be for-profit. But this is an indication of the type of business he has, and he's looking to get support from us. So with that, I'd like to introduce John Zaidman.
Thank you, John. Yeah, thank you for it. My friend in the middle.
Yep.
All right, this is Jody and I's first time doing this together, so there's going to be a lot of winking and hand signals and baseball stuff. So bear with us. I'm excited to be here. We're a big fan of collaboration and social entrepreneurship, and also very excited to be part of the 10% nonprofit field. I feel pretty selective in that. So we're obviously here with the one-to-one movement. We're a local nonprofit organization. My name is Jonathan Zaidman. I'm the executive director. Our associate director and director of education, Amanda, is here if you want to ask her any questions. Our stellar new intern, Ryan, is here if you want to ask him any questions. So what we do is talk to community about community health issues at large. And we're framing that under the sustainability, environmental health, and social justice sphere. And that's essentially what we're here to talk to you guys about in a unique and differentiated approach at how we're working on these issues. So we're going to talk to you guys about two of our programs, one of which is a top-down approach, the other which is a bottom-up approach. We try to implement both of those so that we can meet in the middle and make social change happen. So our last straw, that's our top-down program. Top-down meaning working within the corporate sector, within the political sphere to try to make change trickle down into the community. The last straw as a program is simply asking bars and restaurants to provide straws only upon request. Something that everyone can do, requires no investment, requires no infrastructure, but makes a huge impact. Next. So we're asking bars and restaurants to make this change simply because it's everyone's first step into conservation. It's the way that all of us can participate within acting a little more sustainably, with once again having to make too much of an investment ourselves. So we've enlisted 66 participating restaurants, mostly in San Diego, but a few out of San Diego, notably in Austin, New York, and Washington, D.C., who elected to take this challenge of simply providing straws only upon request. By doing so, the average restaurant could divert approximately 18,250 straws per year each, and that's by only giving straws out to 50% of the customers that walk in through their doors. So the reasons why they want to do that is, one, it'll save them money, not only on the front end, but also on the back end, in terms of buying straws, but also in terms of waste hauling management. Secondly, they got to label themselves as socially conscious, something that everyone's working on today in H. Every Fortune 500 business has a social corporate responsibility report and a sustainability plan. So they get to label themselves as socially conscious. They benefit from the free promotion from the one-to-one movement. We currently reach over 26,000 individuals through social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So they get to benefit from free promotion from our end, and ultimately it's the right thing to do. So what we're looking to do with this program is have a vision and a scope for replicability. How can we implement this program throughout the country, throughout the county, and then throughout the country? So there's 7,000 restaurants in San Diego. Right? We have 66 participating restaurants. At 7,000, we're talking about 125 million straws per year that be diverted from our waterways, our neighborhoods, and our landfills. A huge amount of waste by, once again, only giving straws to the customers that ask for them. There's 600,000 restaurants in the United States. So if 600,000 restaurants participated, and once again, only provided straws upon request, we're talking about 10 billion straws per year kept out of our waste stream. Our bottom-up approach is called the Away Project, and this is a project that we're launching starting this month. What we're going to be doing is speaking in high schools, speaking in middle schools, and providing these students a duffel bag, which I brought here, which they'll carry around with them for the week and put all of the waste that they generate with it. So they're going to take it with them when they go out, they're going to take it with them to school. When they use a piece of paper, when they use a plastic bottle, a chip bag, it goes in the bag. We'll then come back at the end of the week, dissect their bags, talk about their waste, and think about where they could have diverted waste, where they could have recycled, repurposed, or reused some of the waste that they generated. The objective here is to give our students a hands-on, tangible opportunity to identify within the conservation, to actually see, without having to have a theoretical lecture, what they're doing in their daily lives. So, within the theme of the program, our bags are made out of repurposed vinyl. We literally crawled into a dumpster in a printing shop, pulled out former banners, and repurposed them into a bag. So we get to talk to our students about that repurposed waste diversion theme. The impact with the students is that the program is tangible. They're actually feeling and seeing and dealing with their waste. It's interactive. It's engaging. And our vision and replicability scope for this program is to also be able to take it national. So with both programs, what we're looking for as an organization are community foundations throughout the country that would like to adopt similar programs in our curriculum and scale it through their community, through their educators, and through the nonprofits that they support. So what we need as an organization today, and what we can use help with if you guys have connections or professional services in the field, is any sort of multimedia support, creating engaging video that gets people excited about the programs that we've developed and how unique and differentiated they are, any sort of graphic design or photography support. We're also looking for undeveloped land. If anyone has any connections in Temecula or Moole, we'd like to build a sample site for sustainability made of multi-purpose materials with the tenets of permaculture in hand. Any web development would be beneficial to us. Contacts in terms of bar and restaurant management or owners, anyone that would want to do any sort of endorsement, either from the political spectrum, from the celebrity field, in any sort of way. We're looking to expand our advisory board as a nonprofit organization and have people that have different fields of experience come aboard and help us in doing so. Nonprofits can always use accounting help. Media connections, how can we convey the messaging within our programs out to the world? So if anyone has any sort of experience or connections within the media world, and educators getting into schools and speaking to the administrators and educators that would implement these educational programs within their schools. I think my time is exactly up. Our contact info is on the next slide. Yeah, thanks for having me.
So now we're going to ask about 20 minutes of questions, and if Jen, you would repeat any that are quieter so the camera will pick it up. But feel free to fire away. Any questions?
So everyone's going to have to ask a question.
About the straw project,
Yeah.
how us as a consumer, how can we avoid using straws?
Yeah, absolutely. So the idea for our programming and our educational efforts as an organization is to also operate as a bottom-up, top-down campaign. So the bottom-up effort is asking bars and restaurants to make that change on the staff end. But when I go into restaurants, when I order anything, I say no straw, please. And not only does that serve as a diversion practice for that actual beverage that I get, but also when I go out to eat with someone else, they hear and see me do the same.
But
and
the point is, I have a drink, right? Or is a can. I can't just take from the can. So instead of a straw, should I ask a cup?
Yeah, I mean, you can drink without a straw if you feel comfortable, if you don't think that,
Straight on the can?
I mean, I would. Yeah, I don't
I
know.
know. Yeah, they just don't recommend.
Yeah, or there's reusable straws as well. There's glass straws, there's bamboo straws, and steel as well, that you can order fairly
Is it
affordably.
better than plastic? Yeah, so
Yeah, absolutely. Anything
those
reusable.
alternatives, like I think it's a good thing to do is like information to end consumer.
Sure.
So don't use plastic straw, use whatever.
Right,
glass
reusable,
straw.
yeah.
Or don't use this kind of cup, but this kind of cup, you know.
Yeah.
So it's more information, you know, that will help us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, happy to plan.
On that topic, as a follow-up, I know when I go to hotels, it says, put your towels on the floor if you want to wash, and save much water, it's an education component. Do you have tabletop stuff that you put in these restaurants? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know if you remember the last straw logo that you saw on the slide that passed by, but we provide those to restaurants. It says the last straw on one side. On the other side, it provides information saying
So I know
this
why
restaurant.
I'm getting a straw.
Yeah, and what we're trying to do there is build consumer loyalty so that you as a consumer really appreciate the efforts of the restaurant. It says this restaurant has elected to provide straws only upon request. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you familiar with Milo Press?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be straw free.
Yeah.
He's amazing because he's 11 years old and doing the same thing. So we were all so active. at
Yeah,
that
and
age.
I was just looking him up. I met him once, and he just got Colorado to declare the first straw-free day.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
he's fantastic. Yeah. Yeah.
So is your primary push to these businesses the financial impact or the social responsibility impact?
It's much more so the social impact. So a restaurant might save $150 over the course of the year, which money in your pocket is better than money in anyone else's. But the social equity that they'll build within their customer base, especially living in Southern California, this is a coastal community on a long enough timeline. All of the waste that we generate ends up in the ocean, and everyone here loves the ocean. Everybody wants to get it. So being able to say we care about our coastal community, we don't want to see the waste end up in the oceans. That's really the most valuable thing that a restaurant could espouse.
With the Last Straw initiative, how have you gotten the 66 or so restaurants on board so far.
Yeah, it's all B2B, literally knocking on doors, talking to managers and owners, and asking if they'd adopt such a pledge.
Have you thought about, in terms of scaling that, maybe partnering with some of the restaurant loyalty programs, and or that could be something that you can, because to go door to door or.
Yeah, it's not sustainable.
No.
Yeah, we've contacted the Green Restaurant Association and also the National Restaurant Association. Obviously, there's a little lag in adoption policy throughout national programs, but it's something that we're looking to do. We've also implemented a petition asking the Applebee's restaurant chain to adopt the same practice. Applebee's, because it's the largest sit-down restaurant chain in the world, so with their 2,100 restaurants, they delivered over 180 million straws per year. Yeah.
Just to add on what he was saying, John Carter here locally with Mogul,
Yeah.
their sales reps are going into every single restaurant and bar in the city.
Yeah, that's a fantastic idea.
So, we want that introduction.
Please.
Have you thought about teaming up with Restaurant Week? Since Restaurant Week happens here in New York, Boston, a few like really key cities that
Sure.
are all bringing in people for those weeks of doing discounted food and
Yeah, we've developed a strong relationship with a few of the local business improvement districts, namely North Park Main Street and the Hillcrest Business Association, both of whom have expressed interest. The North Park Main Street did an Eco Week throughout all their businesses in North Park, and they